If you're a non-immigrant who needs to extend your stay in the U.S., in our topic today, we'll discuss if you're qualified, and if you are, what you should do to get your stay extended. Many people come to the U.S. as non-immigrants yearly, some for vacation, business, medical treatment, and more. If you want to extend your stay in the U.S., you need to file Form I-539. It's application to extend or change non-immigrant status with USCIS before your authorized stay ends, ideally 2 weeks before your stay ends. If you fail to file and you overstay, you may be deported to your home country, or USCIS may bar you from ever returning to the US, or at least for a number of years. Being barred or deported is not something that you want. You can apply for a visa extension if you have a valid, legitimate reason to request a visa extension under the appropriate visa category. You are lawfully admitted to the United States with a non-immigrant visa. Your non-immigrant U.S. visa status will remain valid for your extension, and you have not committed any crimes that make you ineligible for a visa. Also, that you have not violated the conditions of your admissions to the U.S., your passport has to remain valid during your stay, and you need to have a definite plan to leave the U.S. at the end of the proposed visa extension period. And finally, you have proper evidence that you have the financial ability to sustain yourself while you're in the United States. Fortunately, not everyone is allowed to stay in the United States beyond their initial visa term. If you enter the United States under one of the following categories, you might not be able to extend your stay no matter what you say you do. For example, if you came in under a crew member or a D non-immigrant visa holder, you are in transit through a United States or a C non-immigrant visa holder, you're in transit through the United States without a visa, you're in the United States through the visa waiver program, or you're a fiance of a US citizen or dependent on a fiance or K non-immigrant visa holder. If you're a non-immigrant who plans to apply, then continue watching this video to learn more helpful tips on how to get started. But before I move on, if you are still watching at this point, go ahead and hit the like button below and click the bell icon to keep yourself updated about other immigration-related content. As I mentioned before, I recommended you apply for your extension at least 14 days before your authorized visa expires. If you qualify, here are the things you need to do. You need to file Form I-539. You can do this either on paper or online. However, not all immigrants can file Form I-539 at this time. You can check if you're eligible at the USCIS website because it does change. If you are eligible, you can create a USCIS online account to file online and submit evidence and pay fees electronically, receive status updates about your case and see your complete case history, communicate with them securely and directly and frequently. That's what I mean by quote unquote. You can certainly send requests. Whether they respond and how timely they respond, that's a different story. You can also respond to any requests for evidence. If you are filing by paper, you must carefully read the instructions to Form I-539. You must complete and sign your form, pay the filing fee and biometric service fee if applicable, and provide all necessary evidence and supporting documentations in an organized manner. You're going to need a good reason for why you need more time in the U.S., a reason that USCIS will accept. You need proof of financial support for your extended stay. Submit a copy of your return tickets is a really good idea. There are also specific fees that you need to pay. For the visitor visa B1, B2, the extension fee is $370. If you're applying with your spouse and children, the cost includes them too. There may also be a biometric fee of $85, which can vary depending on your visa type. You also need to submit a copy of your I-94, the arrival departure forms, for each applicant. Take note, do not send the original, send a copy. What should you do after you file the extension? Once you have filed your visa extension, USCIS will send you a receipt with 13-digit receipt number. Take note of this since this will be your case number. It will also indicate the approximate processing time on the receipt. You will also be given a biometrics appointment at your closest office for fingerprinting, to ASC Application Service Center. This is applicable for the primary applicant and all co-dependents regardless of age, even minors. Check out my video on what to expect in your biometrics appointment if you want to learn more. The link is in the description box below. As I mentioned earlier, there's an $85 biometrics fee. This applies to all applicants, including minors. If you had filed for an extension of your stay before your I-94 expired and your application is still under review, you may be allowed to stay in the US for 240 days after the expiration on your I-94. If you find yourself in that situation, give us a call. We'll guide you further. If you want to check the status of your application, you can check your visa extension status online using the case receipt number provided by USCIS. Just Google USCIS case status or call the National Customer Service Center at 1-800-375-5283. That number again is 1-800-375-5283. And now, you'll wait. If your visa extension is approved, you're issued a replacement I-94 with a new departure date. Make a copy of this, including the approval letter, and keep it in your records for future use. You will need these when you re-enter the United States. You can stay in the U.S. until your new I-94 date expires. And when you leave the U.S., you have to submit both your old and new I-94 to the airline staff at the check-in counter. At least you don't. Sometimes they ask for it, sometimes they don't. If your visa extension is denied, you will receive a letter that will tell you why your application was rejected, and you will then promptly have to leave the U.S. But what if you overstay? Well, if you leave the U.S. and want to return, you'll need a good reason for why you overstayed. The overstay may void your visa, and if you had multiple entries, you may have to reapply for a new visa, in which case you're going to have to explain why you overstayed. You may be denied entry or denied a visa in the future. If you don't leave the U.S., ICE may put you into removal proceedings to try to deport you. Since we don't know how long the approval takes, it is best to keep your travel plan ready based on the original I-94 dates. If you get the approval, good for you. If not, it's best to leave the country as quickly as possible. This way you'll have no problems if you try to re-enter the U.S. in the future. Tip: you should always keep copies and proof of all paperwork and communications that you had with USCIS. This will be useful for your future visa needs in case you need to get back to the US. And folks, that's all for now. You can call us today if you need help with any of them. Feel free to contact us if you want to discuss your case or need help with your citizenship application. Whether it's about getting a green card, applying for naturalization, or change of status, we're here to help you with your journey. Remember, every case is different and we won't take your money if we can't help you. If you learned a lot from this video, feel free to like and share it. Please also consider subscribing to the channel and checking our other videos if you found this one helpful. Until next time, stay healthy and be safe. Hey, did you like the video? I invite you to watch another video where I share more tips on how to protect your reputation as an immigrant. Until next time.